Okie dokie, welcome back to another vintage video. Today we are trying some dredge with street wraiths in it and Gataxian probes. So down in the vintage Discord there was some yapping about probes, some yapping about street wraith. The guys are out in the streets having the time of their lives with street wraith decks. So they're going to be on the permission lists, but I thought we'd just jam it into my most recent dredge list with the combo version. So I've cut a Poxwalkers, a Bridge, a Thug, a Therapy, and the Chalice to make space for these 5 cards. And then the Chalice is in the board over 1 Mindbreak Trap. So I'm 2 and 0, 2 and 1 rather than 3 Mindbreak Traps and the Chalice in the main. And yeah, we're just going to jam it in. Why would we do this? So basically, these are all 2 life for a card, so we activate our Bazaar, and we get a Dredge X early doors before our opponent has a go. And this might help you get underneath some graveyard hate, which could be cool. It might be worse here than it is in the other decks, which are pretty good at spitting things into play. We're not as good at that. We're better at converting that one thing we get into play into a kill with Grizzlebrand because of our bridges. Whereas the permission list with Silver Twinkles and Prized Amalgams just want to get, 6 or 7 power into play to get underneath that hate. And that's grand sort of thing. So we'll see how it goes. Just a different list. And we'll play some games. Okie dokie. So round 1, we're up against Force of Will, and someone's just played them, so I'm pretty sure they're on mono white. I've got the super secret info. We've powdered, so they know that we're on dredge. We are on the play. We lost a few cards there to a powder. We're down to 5. So we lost a hollow one and both of our Poxwalkers, so I trimmed one of those. So this is our 5 here, straight to 4. Thanks for joining. Powder this. I'd like to keep the hollow ones in the deck, I think. And an errant street wraith, I guess. Powder these. Keep this then. We are on the play, which is pretty tasty, because we're just definitely going to get rid of the Stinkweed Imp. And then we can build and go from there. So Stinkweed Imp for sure leaves the building, as does the other Stinkweed Imp. We'll hold the Noxious. I might even, if they don't Peacekeeper us on 1, we can slow Dredge, Noxious the Narc, and push from there. Let's see what they lead on though. If they just lead on Wasteland, then we can upkeep Noxious. Is that even good? Oh, a Black Lotus hand is not nice. Black Lotus on 7. No Chancellor from the opponent. Black Lotus on 7 from mono white is going to be tough to overcome. There's 3 white mana, and that's an Archon of Emeria, which is going to lock them out of the game somewhat. They've got an Ancient Tomb, and that seems to be all. So we can slow Dredge, right? Because we don't want to hurt our Bazaar of Baghdad. Slow Dredge to Stinkweed Imp. Miss on everything. But that's fine. I'm going to top this Narc Amoeba. And then do a bunch of activating. Well, I say a bunch. I'm going to do some activating. So we've got 2 Stinkweed Imps in the bin. We've got 1 in our hand. We know we're hitting a Narc Amoeba here with this one. 2 Narcs are in. There's also a Bridge from Below, a Dread Return, and Icarid. So we should be well on our way next turn. Remember, we powdered a bunch as well. So if we powdered a bunch, we didn't powder away Grizzlebrand. We didn't powder away Thassa's Oracle. We can only cast 1 spell a turn, but if we untap with 2 Bazaars and 29 cards, we should be well on our way. Like, pretty close to getting there, right? That's 25 cards already, so yeah, that's just a kill. Cleric could mean Peacekeeper. That's what they name on the cavern. We need to hope it's just a white plume. It's just a white plume, so we should kill next turn, regardless of our opponent, you know? They've played their spell, they've played their land. They can attack if they want to. It doesn't seem very good, though. There's no point in blocking. I might want the devotion. So this is 25. This will put us down to 4 cards in hand. 4 cards in deck, sorry. Stinkweed Imps. No other Narc. I would like to use Narcomoeba's ability. I would like to use Icarid's ability and eat a Street Wraith. Do I need another Icarid? I do, don't I? Not Icarid. I need another Narcomoeba. And we hit it. So, yes on this. We can just Dread return the Thassa's Oracle. Devotion is 4. Board state is thick on the way back through as well. Devotion is 4. We don't die to Solitude here, right? They die to us next turn. Let's put a Street Wraith on top of our deck. And that's game. Nice turn 3 kill. No Street Wraiths for us today. We did eat one though. So then post board, we need the Vigors because they can have Leilazus, and we can have Sickening Shoals because fundamentally they play creatures. I think Misstep is questionable. Therapies are pretty slow, but I still like them to get the Poxwalkers, so I'm just going to trim 1. We need 8 from here. 8 from here is really tough. Let's make some questionable sideboarding decisions then, and just trim down on everything. I guess the Street Race are so weird though, aren't they? Because they don't actually mean anything. Probe is just worse than Street Wraith. I'm pretty sure Probe is just worse than Street Wraith. I don't think that's like wild. I think it is just like this doesn't work through a Void Mirror. This doesn't work through Vexing Bauble. This doesn't feed Icarid. This feeds Icarid. Works under every single lock effect, other than if they needle it themselves. One more cut for the home team, then we can come down a Noxious, I guess. Chalice on the draw is bad, but we'll probably bring it in on the play. Maybe for a Grizzled Dad. Go down to one of those. Okay, so we are on the play. We do get to keep this hand. We are not very resilient to hate from our opponent. They don't have a ley line though. They do have a Chrome Mox. I don't know if I want to cycle this Street Wraith now or later. Mox Emerald as well. Cavern of Souls, that's all fine. Name's Archon. Okay. Archon is a problem if they hold Wasteland. But I don't want to go too nutty here. We don't have a Dredger, so I guess we do cycle Street Wraith to look for Sickening Shoal. We also don't find green card. So let's just play a tapped Narcomoeba. Play a tapped Bazaar of Baghdad, good grief. And then they do have the Wasteland, which is really problematic. Witch Enchanter went underneath, and now we find the Sickening Shoal. Okay, we'll just discard Icarid here. And I think we just chill for a moment. Opponent has another wasteland, wow. Archon's coming in. So we kind of don't want to use this Sickening Shoal, right? Because that takes us off of pitch to hand size. Our opponent's going nowhere with any sort of speed. I'm just going to play Containment Priest. That's fine. It wasn't coming back anyway. Now we find a Bazaar of Baghdad. So we can kill your Archon. Play and activate the Bazaar. Oh, that's very funny. And now cast 3 hollow ones. And then it's your go. If your last card's a Tabernacle, then sure, whatever. Yeah, my Bazaar's dead, I don't care. You gotta deal with these guys. Your go. What an activation, that was hilarious. They could have Tab. I don't know if they play it these days. They've got 2 cards left over. We were unfortunate not to find a Bridge from Below here. Although most of their removal is going to be exile, I imagine. And we win the match. How fucking funny. Okay, so round 2. We're on the play up against black decks. We've got the advantage of having Bridge from Below in our deck. They've got the advantage of having 2 Bazaars in their opening hand. So I do like this as a keep. We will see how to go about it. We don't have a Dredger, which is problematic. And we want to be careful with when this Bridge from Below gets in there. Let's go Icarid Poxwalker Therapy. And then just cast Hollow One. And do I want to use this? No, because I didn't discard my Bridge from Below. So we didn't discard Bridge, which means we don't bring back a bunch of power. We do kind of want to go over the top of this Icarid on our turn, if possible, to find another Street Wraith or Bazaar or Dredger. Any of those cards will be great. Well, Dredger being the primary one. So Amalgam Icarid, Silver Smoke Ghoul, more Hollow Ones than God. Well, yeah, that one's annoying. Okay, so we will, in response to this trigger, I think just... Ah, but if he takes Bridge, then my Bridge dies. If I Noxious... So this is really annoying, right? What I want to do is Noxious Icarid, so that they don't get anything back next turn. But if I do that, they can take Bridge and exile my Bridge from below. So what we have to do is say no response, then if he takes Bridge, we can put Bridge back on top and counter the Grief. But is that even good? They took the Noxious anyway, okay. That was a bit annoying. They had all those cards. So we've got an Icarid, so we can go over the top of that like so. We don't find the good cards. I will still cycle Street Wraith in response to this Icarid though, because that's the best food for it. We find another Icarid. We will eat Street Wraith. And we'll go to our draw step. And we'll find another Bridge from below. So that means I can therapy you. Right? Eating Icarid. Getting back Poxwalker's Bridge from below. Probably just targeting Noxious Revival. I can't think of anything else that we care about at this stage. Like if they have Force Blue card, then we'll find another therapy later. Gataxian Probe and Grief. So they're going to go off next turn. I didn't think of Gataxian Probe. We'll play another Hollow One, then we'll attack for 4. They don't have a dredger either, right? So neither of us have dredgers. We're both kind of floundering. I've got no bridge now. Opponent's graveyard resolves last. And then it's over to black decks for their turn. They miss on... No, they hit Shambling Shell. They eat Grief. So now they can dredge 3, and then they can probe me, see the good news, and get another dredge off. But that didn't really amount to anything. And then they don't come in. So they just ate a food for nothing. Oh no, they didn't. They get something out of it. They do get a prized amalgam back out for that. So now we need to hit a dredger here. Because otherwise we're just going to fall behind. We do hit the Stinkweed Imp. I think I want to chill on my bridge and chill on my Icarid for a mo. I ate a Grizzlebrand earlier, right? No, I didn't. So I can pick it up. But that's not very good. So I got to say no to this Icarid for this turn. Then we'll dredge 5. Hit a Dread Return, which can target a Grizzlebrand. I do have a Dredger, so let's just do that. We know their hand's not very good. We'll pay 7. Shambling Shell. Golgari Thug. Golgari Thug. Shambling Shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 16 cards left in deck. 16 cards. This is 11. If I go... I've got a Dread Return. I don't yet have a Thassa's Oracle. I've hit 3 shells, and there's one in... No, that's his exile. There's one in exile. Oh, Thassa's Oracle is exiled. Well, that's problematic, isn't it? So let's just go Golgari Grave Troll, and then Stinkweed Imp. I'm at 5 cards. I get all of these guys back into play. So we'll say yes to everyone. Yes. And yes. And then... Oh, look at my Grizzlebrand. He's like that San Diego Comic-Con thing. So now we can trade Poxwalkers for our own bridge from below. Bridge from below, please. Bridge from below. Oh, I'm so good at spelling. And now my board state's just ridiculous. We exiled Thassa's Oracle early, and we exiled one of the Poxwalkers early as well. I don't care about their hand. It doesn't do anything. Now we can Dread Return some cards. So what's the best cards to return? Dread Return Hollow ones, I guess. Get some bridge tokens on the way. And a Poxwalker will always come back. And then we'll Dread Return another hollow one off of Pox, Zombie, Narc. Get some more tokens. Get another hollow one. And we do also just have a 7/7 lifelinker here. Oh, I wonder if there's a chance that I've killed myself to Creeping Chills. We'll discard Shambling Shell to ensure our Icarids have the food that they require and desire. No, they've been through a Creeping Chill, so we literally can't die, right? There's one in exile already. So your efforts are all in vain. I'm just going to attack you a bunch of times. And that will be that. I can't do anything. Leave me alone, Magic Online. I don't have to click buttons. So our opponent chills us again. Those cards can't attack. So you get back 1 prize amalgam. I just don't care. I think you're just dead, actually. By and large, I believe you're dead. So what am I going to go up to, though? I'm going to go up to 12. These are my Icarids. We'll eat Street Wraith. Street Wraith. Grief. Grief. We'll draw a card. Do I need to do any counting? You've got 1 blocker. You block a hollow 1. Then you take... not counting that high. Good night, Black Decks. I will see you for game 2. Crunch. So that was cool. Even though we exiled the Thassa's Oracle. And then we get 4 Ravenous Traps, 4 Vigors to come in. Therapy, Misstep. No, I do like Misstep in the mirror. 1 Thug. The bridges are great, the Poxwalkers are fine, but we do need them. The Griefs are maybe quite suspicious at this point. But they are food, but we've got Street Wraith as food now, right? So I don't need to stress quite so much. Then I need 2 cuts from here. Thug's been 1 already. What if I cut the Probe? But the Probe's the whole joke of us being here, right? Dread Return, Grizzlebrand, something like that. Just lean on our bridges. Okay, then game 2, and we're going to powder away our hand. We lose a Rav Trap on the way through. We get the world, so provided we're not under a ley line, we are absolutely gaming. No ley line. Bazaar of Baghdad. This could just be the turn 1 kill. Shambling Shell, Icarid, Shambling Shell. Do I probe first to see if I'm playing into Ravenous Trap, or do I just body them? I think we just body them, right? Someone remind me that we know where my Thassa's Oracle is. Oh, hang on, do I want Thassa's Oracle in the bin, or do I want Bridge and Blow in the bin? Maybe none of them, maybe just discard Therapy. And now I can probe you. And you got Force of Vigor, Ley Line of the Void that you drew. How heartbreaking. So let's pay 2 life. Grab a Grave Troll. Pay 2 life. Grab a Stinkweed Imp from the top. And then see where we're at. Just a Narcomoeba. So I've definitely got something in there, right? Definitely got a Poxwalker, which is already an upgrade. So I'm just gonna do this now to get my creature into play, and then we can just take your Force of Vigors and make your future plans slightly more difficult. And then next turn we can pitch the cards we really want in the graveyard and kill our opponent. And that was half of our deck in 1 turn. So they do some dredging and do some milling. I am at 11 from that. And that will put me down to 8. So if they hit a Creeping Chill off of this draw step here, I can't actually activate my Grizzlebrand. Not something I thought about. Okay. So we can't activate Grizzlebrand now. We are dead next turn. But I am 27 cards remaining in deck, so let's get to work. We know our opponent's holding bad cards, right? Shambling Shell and something else. So Icarid is going to go off. Maybe that therapy last turn was really bad. Actually, because it means that I don't have a therapy now. So let's go Stinkweed Imp, Shambling Shell, and I want to discard Grave Troll, Imp, Bridge from Below. I know I'm holding Thassa's Oracle. Let's Dredge Golgari Grave Troll. Get another Narcomoeba. And now this Bazaar should be a kill from here. Let's therapy you quickly. And just name Noxious. I don't think they can have Noxious. I think it's just 2 Shambling Shells. Yeah, it's just 2 Dredges. And then what's this? 13 cards, Stinkweed Imp. Stinkweed Imp, so that's just a kill because I've got the Thassa's Oracle here. That puts me down to Devotion as 3, and I've got some cards, so it doesn't matter. So Stinkweed Imp, discard this guy, and this guy. I'd love a Narcomoeba. Away with you, Graveyard. Dread Return. Thassa's Oracle. 1, 2, 3. Devotion is 5. Triggers are on the stack. And we do emerge victorious. That was fun. That was fun. Okie dokie, game 3. We're up against Vanquish. Oh God. It just keeps on going. It just keeps on going. So we'll just slam it and spin. Look at that. Hollow one as well, just for the memes? No, not quite. Let's just do the old 1, 2, 3 and hold back the Stinkweed Imp for the second, just in case something goes wrong. No Lurus again. So I wonder what they're up to. Up to a polluted delta, so it could be Doomsday. So this therapy could have a lot of like good targets here. Underground Sea. Thoughtseize me hitting Powdered Red Return Stinkweed Imp. And then, so what does Thoughtseize mean? So that means they're just on that Murktide list that Sprouts was playing. I think that's roughly what it means. So they take a powder, yeah. They take a powder and 2 points of damage. Mox Sapphire. Don't Soul Guide me, homie. I don't think they played Soul Guide. I think they had like a Thoughtseize or something in that spot. But Thoughtseize could be Doomsday, could be Sprouts, Murktide. If we get through this turn, they just should die. I feel pretty confident on that. Does Mox Sapphire represent Mystical Tutor? I don't know. Do we want to punt our therapy at a Mystical? I don't think so. I think we can maybe even just build a picture. Maybe the first one should go at that, and then the second ones can go at things like Gush and Doomsday. So I do need this round to go quickly because we've got a pre-modern challenge in 14 minutes time. And I'm playing some awful black-white deck, I think, by the looks of things. That's what I'm playing in paper tomorrow. The Gabe Nassif black-white control deck. And it does not look particularly good. It does look pretty click intensive. So upkeep will go over the top with our Grave Troll. Maybe. If Magic Online permits it. And then our Stinkweed Imp. So we've hit 2 Dread Returns. We've hit the Thassa's Oracle. 2 Dread Returns is enough to go over the top of permission, but we'll just continue to hold this Stinkweed Imp anyway. Because it will Well, I don't know why. I've got nothing for you. So we just bash again. So Stinkweed Imp. Stinkweed Imp. 0 creatures. And this is one of the fail cases in the deck. Is we're now passing the turn again with no plays happening, right? Because all of our Narcomoebas are in the bottom 24 cards of our deck. So now if our opponent kills us, and this is what happened to me round 1 of Eternal Weekend. I did all of this and my opponent just untapped and killed me. 2 Bazaars, Nut Dredgers, half your deck is gone, and 0 Narcs, and you just lose. And that's one of the real fail cases of this deck. Like, if Surgical ever ticks back up, like, Surgical your Narc is pretty close to game over. Like, if we hit a Narcomoeba here, we win, right? I've got, what, Poxwalker, and I missed on Bridges as well, so that's 7 cards, all of them in the bottom 25. They did have the Mystical Tutor, which does get the Doomsday or the Dark Ritual, and then that could just be game. I guess Tinker, okay, so they're a Tinker deck. Interesting. So our Blind Therapy would have hit, because my plan was to play multiple therapies, right? First one, I think I named the Top Tutor. They've got the Tinker here, 16 life points, have made a land drop. There's the House, 3 cards left over. Lotus is the top card of the deck. You can eat a dick, son, that's horrendous. Into Manifold Key. They haven't played a card from hand yet. Yawgmoth's Will from hand is a kill here, right? Crack Lotus, Will. Blue mana here, so stock up. Ancestral, of course. Of course. Okay, so that was really messed up. Lotus into Manifold Key, Ancestral. Tendrils of Agony, me? Okay, sir, so just Beseech Storm. But I only take 10 from this. They do regain the life for the, and they're forcing it back to get the card off the top of the deck. Okay, cute, cute, cute. Storm Trigger happens, so they gain 8 back from that. Pay 9, gain 8, so just pay 1 life to clear the top 2 cards and 8 me. And then they've still got 2 mana floating, so the Time Vault is still game. If they can find it. Yawgmoth's Will, incredibly game at the moment. Soul Ring. Brainstorm, horrendous news. They die on our turn. And we just have to get through this. They have 8 cards in hand. They're currently setting 2 up to go back on top of the house. Any top tutor kills here. Any tutor kills here. Vampiric, Demonic, Yawgmoth's Will, the Time Vault itself. Everything is lethal. Beseech the Mirror. Yeah. I think it's pretty impossible for us to win this. I think they've just done enough. Yeah, Vampiric for Time Vault. Or Vampiric for Beseech. Vampiric for Yawgmoth's Will. Yeah, everything kills. Right, very good. Well done. Lotus tendrils us for 12, and that is good games, sir. That was cool. We missed on our narcs, and that can happen. We've dropped a game. Tough beats. So Chalice, I think, will be good. Vigor, I'm somewhat interested in. Trap, I'm somewhat interested in. This is 7. Grief, I really like. Noxious is less good in this matchup, but I like my green count being like not a total embarrassment. And then I really like Therapy. I think I'm actually going to trim a Street Wraith. Do I want all these Vigors though? Do I care? Yeah, because I can have Leyline, right? So we need to play around Leyline. Chalice on the play is going to be good, and then maybe I can just cut a Grizzlebrand and then one of the therapies. I don't know. We can keep a therapy and cut a probe, because probe is. Whilst I know we're out here turboing, I think probe is the worst card in our deck. So that's cool. But yeah, no, there we go. Game 2 has just arrived. Didn't even have to pause it. So we'll powder this away. We lose 1 out of 2 Poxwalkers. And now we'll go to 6. And now we've got Hollow 1 to get through, Leyline, Therapy, and Bridge from below to interact with Thug and Grizzledad. So I like this hand. We'll put the powder on the bottom. Keep powder, done. No Leyline, perfect. So they are a combo deck. So do we want to go quickly against them? Now, no, because we've got the Noxious to play for time against top tutors and other such. This might get forced though, but I did discard 2 dredges there. Opponent thinking. Opponent having a good old think about our hollow one. I wonder if... No, and that just gets through. So that's really interesting, right? Because do we want to... If I discarded the bridge, then just... I don't think so. I was going to say, do we want a Therapy Pithing Needle? But they can also have Tormod's Crypt and Soul Guide, so it's a bit tough. I think if I discarded bridge, you can make an argument to sacrifice Hollow One named Pithing Needle. But the fact that... And I think they're holding Force of Will to protect it. That's a Tabernacle at Pendule Vale. Okay, interesting. So we're going to go over the top of this Hollow One trigger, because then we can get our token and use that to therapy them. We get a Narcomoeba, Icarid, Street Wraith, 1 therapy, no bridge from below. So let's no second words and noise. No second Bazaar of Baghdad. So let's get rid of this stuff. I want the Narcomoeba, I don't want the Hollow One. And do we want to top a Chalice of the Void? I don't think so. I could though, it could be sweet. I'm going to do that. I'm going to top the Chalice of the Void. And if this works, it works. So that gets through. Do we then want to counterspell them? Do we want to check for counterspell? I don't think so. I think we just roll out this. And if they force it, they force it. And then we can just therapy a random hate piece like Needle or Soul Guide Lantern. So that gets through. So they don't have Crypt. Needle's less impactful because I've got Dredges, right? I'm not sure why this Stink we didn't play my hand, guys. I'm not going to be taking further questions at this stage. This doesn't matter. So Soul Guide Lantern or Needle. Needle doesn't matter, so Soul Guide Lantern. Soul Guide Lantern, I think, is the best. How do you spell Soul Guide Lantern? Is it dash here? Does that make sense? I think so. Force of Will, DT, Ritual. Interesting. Okay, so this could be a tough turn to survive. They did have the Force of Will all along. Now they've got the hate piece. So what? Land, Force of Will, DT. Land, DT, Ritual. They can't get the... They can get the Soul Guide this turn, but they can't get the Yixlid Jailer into play. They're holding Force of Will. DT and Dark Ritual, I think, are hard to come across. Tropical Island's very interesting. What are they playing? Xantid Swarm? Grafdigger's Cage is fucked. Grafdigger's Cage is fucked. So how do we win? So we take draw steps. We know they've got Force of Will. So we can't clear. We're in trouble. Did I lose game 1 as well? Fuck me. Okay, so none of that matters. Your go. Did I bring in? I did bring in the things, didn't I? So I've got to find. I've got a street wraith here, a shambling shell. Sorry, I don't know what this tropical island's for. Grief is interesting. Grief is very interesting. We'll activate though for force of vigor. There's force of vigor. So I think grief has to go. And we'll just grind through by actually casting just force of vigors, right? We'll pick up shambling shell this turn. Yeet it into their force of will. There's an island. Into a manifold key. I want my shambling shell back. I got another shambling shell, so we're rolled up for the second vigor. Upkeep will go after these two. You're forced to force. Force of will pitching. Lorien revealed. So they've got the other force of will still. I wonder if I could find Dark Ritual. They've got hardcast force of will up. Okay. So we're just going to take a draw step here. We could take a moment. We could take this moment to pick up Shambling Shell, right, and just have the green card rolled up. Maybe that's fine. Mills of Force of Vigor, classic. And then next turn we can start activating again. But they do have hardcast Force of Will. And Bazaar Baghdad's grayed out. Don't know why. Yeah, I don't think we're winning this. I think this is all gone a bit too wrong. Dark Ritual DT. I wonder if I should have found that. Also, that dredge was just shite, wasn't it, actually, looking at it now? I should have taken a draw. No dredging, because I've now got to dredge again and risk my other two vigors. And they've got 5 cards in hand. I can't cast spells from graveyard, right? So my therapies are dead as well. Yeah. Tezzeret's just a kill as well, because that's going to soul guide me. It's going to get another hate piece. Yeah, I can't beat Tezzeret. Okay, so we kind of fucked that up. They got top, they didn't get another hate piece. So now they can just draw 2 cards. I don't care about you having cards, I'm going to grief them. Do I want to accrue more cards solely? I don't think so. I think I've got to go now that I'm against Tez, right? No, no, no. Thug, I guess, is the best thing to dredge back. Hit a Narcomoeba. We'll see if Modo's bugged. Regretfully not. I just dropped my phone. I apologise greatly. I'm going to grief them. Fair to summer? Okay, I hate this game. Okay, we lose. We lose. Never mind. Next round. Okie dokie then. Round 3. 4. Oh, 4. Oh, yeah, because we just lost to Vanquish. Excellent. My pre-modern challenge didn't fire, which is, somewhat distressing. We're on the play again. I think that's all of them in a row. Oppo has Allura. Sucks to be them. We're going to powder. And we're going to keep this hand. This is cracked. If we hit the old Dredger here, then we are off to the races. So we've got a Noxious as well. So let's go with the Bazaar of Baghdad, the activation, and the miss. Tragic shame. So Poxwalkers, Dread Return, and Powder. And then we'll just cast a hollow one, I think. Hollow one may or may not resolve. which is not particularly analysis. It's just those are the two things that can happen. So we'll see how it goes. Opponent has a force of will. They pitch a force negation. Tasty stuff. Right, you'll go. We're going to sandbag the Street Wraith for the day we do hit a Dredger. Ah, this is a downside of Street Wraith, isn't it, though? Is the I can never pass priority. So declaring the attackers. Nothing, nothing, nothing. You'll go. And then opponent's turn 1. So they're on 6 cards after pitching the force, keeping 7 on 1. And let's see if they've got anything to do. Urza's Saga is very powerful on 1. Nihil Spellbomb, also pretty fucking good, to be honest, isn't it? So we'll go upkeep, see if we hit the Dredger. Do not. So I think I'm just going to come off blue cards and Noxious here. Is that even good? The graveyard doesn't do anything. I'm quite interested in keeping Grief and Street Wraith, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'm just going to come off these cards and then Grief them. Draw step. Not sure about that Noxious. Then if I can hold this Dredger and then activate next turn. Then if I'm getting wasted this turn, I'm in so much trouble. No, I don't want to Grief them. Because now, yeah, I should have kept Noxious over Grief. Play around Wasteland. This is going to be, this represents another graveyard hate piece, doesn't it? Maybe not at this point. Mishra's Bauble. So, they Bauble me. They've got an Underground Sea. And that's it. So we're going to get Bowmastered. And then we will have access to a Dredger. But they might Spellbomb us in response to a Dredger. So let's discard the Dredger they know about. And the Narcomoeba and the Grief, I think. No, maybe not the Grief. Maybe the Shambling Shell. And now we'll go to our draw step. They're going to nuke in response because then we can double Street Wraith them. They are going to nuke, so I'm going to at least single Street Wraith them to get back my Dredger. I hit an Icarid in the Therapy. They're going to draw a card. And then I guess we are supposed to Grief them here. They've got Daze. I really don't want to spend this Grief. Okay. I don't like how I've played this because I feel like that Street Wraith pitch there is horrible as well. Maybe it's supposed to be Grief pitching Grief if I'm not going to Grief again. So that goes off. How many main decks hate pieces do you have? What's gone? Narcomoeba, Narcomoeba, Narcomoeba. Good grief, that's horrendous. Thassa's Oracle's gone. Dread Return's gone. Icarid, 2 Icarids. Yeah, we might be in trouble just in terms of killing them at this point. Opponent can just get a Lotus here or something to do. The mana source, yeah, Lotus is the one they go for. And they've got the Pearl from hand. So a land will play a Lurrus. It's a Wasteland though. So do they want Lurrus Spellbomb or do they just, no, they just want to kill it? Okay. I mean, both are lethal, right? We've just been completely worked this game. I don't think I've played it particularly well. What's the white card that you could be playing here? Surely you don't want to crack Lotus now. You can't play a land. The Lurrus is now a few turns away. But they can sort of Bowmaster, right? Yeah. Opponent just all up in a pickle, has no idea how to play. Not in a negative way, but just like we're just out here tapping lands, cracking Lotuses. Yeah, the mana goes. We have got no quick and easy way to lure us. I've got no quick and easy way to win this game. I don't like how I've ended up in this situation. That's another land. This kind of has to be the turn that I find my other Bazaar of Baghdad. Like, I discarded that Noxious, I pitched that Street Wraith. I don't like any of those things. Is this just Ancestral? 4 mana. Psychic Frog into Bowmaster. Cute. So the Lurrus loop is off. But that may not matter. Yeah, Time Twister is incredibly lethal because of the Psychic Frog, right? They don't have it. They don't have it at all. So we take 3 here. And they draw a card. They miss a land drop, which is fantastic news. And then I can grief you. And then what are you holding? Force of Will, Spell Pierce, Long Goodbye. Okay, so we just die to all of this. This might be too slow anyway, right? Like, it might just not be acceptable. That means their last card in hand is a Long Goodbye. And I take 3 more. Maybe 5. They play the Bauble. They look at the top card of my deck. And decide that they don't need the Long Goodbye. So I get dinked for 4. Which does change the clock. And it's a Shambling Shell, so we're dead. Okay then. Well, we got bodied. Quite comprehensively there, yeah. I quite like the kill spells. I don't think I care about the rest. Maybe I'm supposed to have a few vigors. Maybe 3 of each is fine. My interest in Street Wraiths wane. Probe's supposed to be good though, isn't it? Can't be dropping Icarids. I think I just do actually want to come off the Wraiths because I want to nickel and dime. Something like this, quite interactive. Seems fine to me. Okay, so a nice opener for us. We'll keep it. Opponent hasn't revealed a Lurrus, does have a Leyline. Interesting. Okay. So we'll play Bazaar of Baghdad. We've got some nice pitches. We'd love a green card off the top here. Miss. So Narc, Sickening Shoal. Maybe not Sickening Shoal. Narc, Cabal Therapy, Icarid. And then we'll cast this. So the Hollow One's in. Interesting that they came off Lurrus for Leyline. We've got one of our Vigors in hand. They didn't show us any white mana last game, did they? Underground Sea. And then just a pass for the turn. We hit another Bazaar of Baghdad. I'm going to activate because I'd love to find a green. I do find a green. So let's go with these cards then. We do beat Spell Pierce here. And we don't beat the other stuff. And I'm going to hold this Bazaar of Baghdad. Because if we miss, it's a card in hand to... I think I have to. They negate back. And it's just a case of, do they find something? Am I supposed to go upkeep or am I supposed to go later? I kind of want them to play a frog, right? Strip mine's not ideal. They just play a Bowmaster. The daze here probably kills us. The Leyland's gone. So they hit me for 1. No Lotus, no twist. We take a draw. We attack. And we attack now so that we can maybe get the chump out of them. We don't. Okay. I think I want to activate sorcery speed here. Because if I hit a dredger, I'm in such great shape. I don't hit a dredger. Okay, so we'll slow down and we'll go later. We'll take less damage. Therapy. Therapy you. Just go for the time twister. Oh, I'm supposed to name them Graveyard Hate. Jailer, Soul Guide. We saw Spellbomb last game. I think they'd all be in play though. Like this seemed really suspect. The Orcish Bowmasters when you just played Strip Mine against one Bazaar. So I think they've got to have Time Twister land. So I'm just going to go straight for the Time Twister. Like otherwise you just don't play your Bowmaster then, right? No, they just don't have it. Okay, just odd play from then. Yeah, because they could have... They didn't have the Ancestral, did they, at that point? I don't know, I don't understand. I don't understand the Bowmaster play. But we know their hand is useless, right? Yeah. That's confirmed. They should strip mine me pre-combat to get the extra 4 points of damage in. They do. We flip anyway. We do hit a dredger. They can just kill this guy and get 2 points of damage in. And then we're on 1 Bazaar of Baghdad, and if they top decked Wasteland, it sucks. Good grief, man. Unbelievable. Never mind. We're still slow dredging. We've still got an Icarid in for 3 this turn. So I'm going to eat one of those other Icarids. So Icarid eats Icarid, I think. I just missed their hand. What was it? Spell Pierce, Consign, something. I would have hit Thassa's Oracle, not Bazaar of Baghdad. So we can attack, then they can't attack with their Bowmaster. We just take 5 next turn. That Wasteland was an exceptionally fucked up draw. How much do I take? 6? Mock Sapphire makes a frog, and the frog kills me next turn, so I do have to chump block. No Dredger either. Didn't play the frog. Drew another Bowmaster. No, they do the Sapphire, right? Also, they consign the Ichor trigger. That seems worse than a Psychic Frog. So Psychic Frog and Bowman both deal with the Ichor, right? So I take 6 here, and then they play the Frog. And then what can I do? I'm just dead to the... Yeah, I'm just dead to the Frog in the eye. Okay. That was a bit annoying. The top decked Wasteland was hideous. The Sorcery Speed Bowman really sent me through a loop. And game 1, I think I played poorly. So, anyway, round 5. Okie dokie nerds. This league actually ended, so I'm unable to get another match. So we're just going to call it there for now. A nice 2-2 for our little combo experiment. A bit of fun with the Street Wraith. Street Wraith used to be like a part of this sort of build, Street Wraith and Probes, to really push you forwards. I guess I just kind of got crept out by more resilience. I'm not sure where they went, but yeah, I like the Wraith more than the Probe because it just gives your Ichorids more food. We already know what our opponent's holding, or a lot of the time we can just condense our opponent's hand or just their entire deck and strategy into cards that matter right now, and then you know kind of what you have to do. Sometimes you've got to just play into it and hope they don't have it, but you know, I find the value of the Wraith better than the value of the Probe. Anyway, but that was fun. So 2-2 and off to a new league because I can't get a pairing this one. So I'll see you guys again soon. Take care, bye.